Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm super excited to share with you my review of the Nothing Phone 2a. Now I've actually been using this device here for almost a week now. Imagine that I've had this phone in my pocket for a week. I've been trying to hide the design just because I don't want people to see it due to embargo. But let me share with you a couple of my own personal experience after using this device. Now I have to start off by saying that in terms of the pricing, based on my understanding, it's going to be approximately 1,600 ringgit here in Malaysia, plus minus a little bit, and that actually puts this device at a super attractive price point. Now what I mean here is that at this price point, I could simply say that this is actually one of the best phones you can get for this price. Now let's talk about the user experience. I want to start off first and foremost with the design. Now the design here is actually, like I said, really out of this world. I mean, I really like the look of the entire back panel. It's very, very unique. It does look a bit similar to the Phone 1 and Phone 2, but if you just take a look at the entire back, you will feel that it's sort of like a prototype kind of look, something that just came out of the lab, and that's what I'm super stoked about. Other than that, if you just take a closer look itself, you will notice that the back panel is slightly raised and it gives for a very unique kind of feel. Overall, I'm also a huge fan of this entire white frames. You don't see white frames that often anymore. And the black buttons at the sides just give it sort of like a very nice contrast, sort of like a panda contrast. In other words, I can just sum up the entire design here to be something that is super beautiful in my personal eyes. Now design is really subjective, so it really depends on you, but I love it very much. Now of course there's a couple of glyph lights at the back. That means that it will blink and all that. Some of you might think it is a gimmick, but I still feel that the glyph on here really makes the phone stand out from other phones. Whenever you just pull this out in public, not here obviously since embargo, but whenever you just show it to anybody, people will just be like, wow, what a design this phone has. So that's just in terms of the design. Now, but how is it really like to use? Well, this device here is running the Dimensity processor. I think it's the 7200 Pro or something. Just in terms of the performance, it has been very snappy. And I think this is very, very much due to not just Android 14 on board, but also due to the Nothing OS being very, very scaled down. So what you're having here is very close to a stock Android performance, and everything is just blazing fast. I mean, if you have tried any Nothing phones in the past before, you will be very familiar with the kind of experience that you can get here. Everything is just very snappy, it's very quick. Now moving on, since I'm talking about Nothing OS, I should also briefly mention that I really like the way Nothing has designed their entire user interface, the UI itself. You have a lot of really nice and updated widgets. Again, not many phone manufacturers, put in their effort to create these beautiful kind of widgets. Besides that, you can also put on a lot of quick shortcuts. So everything is just on your home screen. You don't really need to even drag down the control center anymore, because all my favorite shortcuts, for instance, my dark mode, do not disturb, as well as the torch, they're all on the home screen. So it's even more easier to use. Now, in terms of the cameras at the back, some of you might wonder how is the performance here. I would say that in good daylight, like now, for example, you will definitely be able to capture a lot of detail. Very nice photos, in fact. Now, it only comes with 2 sensors at the back, so just like the Nothing Phone 1 as well as the Phone 2, it only comes with that main sensor, which actually does 2x zoom, as well as an ultra-wide, which, is ultra-wide. Alright, so having said all that, another 2 things I want to share with you. Number 1 is in terms of the display. We do get a 120Hz display on here. That's actually pretty standard. It isn't like super bright under super harsh sunlight. You can still see the display, don't get me wrong, but I did wish it was a bit brighter. But otherwise, pretty standard display here. And in terms of the battery life, the battery, good news, it actually held up very well. Like I was using mostly for my GPS since I'm navigating here in Switzerland. So I was using a lot of GPS, my social media, taking photos and all that, and the phone still managed to hold up starting from the day all the way till the evening and at night. Alright, so at the end of the day, my experience with the Nothing Phone 2a is definitely very positive. I think for this price point of approximately 1,600 ringgit plus minus, this is definitely one of the best value smartphones that money can buy. So I found it quite surprising that Nothing is not just offering you a lot of value for your money, but it's also putting it in a very beautiful design package with that Nothing OS, the UI, everything just fits very, very well into the Nothing Phone 2a. Now if you have any further questions, feel free to leave me a comment down below. Thank you for watching today's video all the way to the end. I'm on my vacation, but I'm still shooting the video and my face is already burning off. So drop a like, sub to the channel if you want to see more content, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Do take care and stay safe. Bye bye.